So we've been working on lately.
Been doing a lot of stuff for Nickelodeon,
Oh,
and
your other
this,
project you were saying you were working on that for a
yeah,
while now.
yeah, and so it finally launched last week, and it's going really well.
So
It's
what is it
really,
actually?
it's a line of toys, and we are making all the music for it basically. And I did all the voices for each character, wrote the songs. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's a turn that I didn't think my life would take, but it's really, but in the best way. Yeah.
That's funny how you said it. I never thought my life would have a turn like this.
I always knew that I could do weird things with my voice,
Yeah,
and I just
of
thought that
course.
I was just weird, and that would just be it.
It's
Yeah,
so interesting, the world of sync. And when I tell people, I'm like, listen, this thing is so vast and so deep and just
yeah,
can go in different directions and you never know where it's going to go. Like I showed you that song when I sent you the email. I said, oh, do you happen
yeah,
to know this group named Espa? And you're like, maybe. And then
yeah,
we put out that song. And
yeah,
then it's gotten on a few like video games, or it was a video game, it was on a TV show, it was on a trailer
yeah.
for something. And that's the interesting
It's
thing I've noticed is like you just never know.
No, you do never know, and it's exciting when you focus on one path. And I've always had one very direct goal, and that's going really well also. And
Yep.
then something else comes into the frame, and I'm like, I'd love to have a go at that. And then all of a sudden, it's become my main thing, and I love it. Like I love
Yeah.
it. I love writing these kind of songs. I love writing for kids.
But it's very interesting whenever I work with a new artist, and I don't know if you've noticed this or throughout the years, but I'm going to give you like a character profile.
Yeah,
But in both cases, these people both have very unique voices. So it's
hmm,
like very distinguishable. You hear them, you're like, oh, that person's got a unique voice.
right.
But for some reason, when they think sync, they think that it's the backwards way to get to their career.
Yeah, it's
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 the
the direct
opposite.
line.
It's the direct line. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I've started to work with people, and then we start to work on these songs, and our time is valuable. And
yeah,
so we're trying to help them and guide them and
yeah,
all these things that come into it. But then in their mind, I guess because of their theory of what sync is, they'll start a couple songs, and then next thing you know, they kind of fizzle away. And then I'm going, well, we're not going to chase these people down to help them with their career. I don't think they realize that one of these songs can break a career without them having to sign
in a
away.
split second, and it can be reused and reused and reused. Like it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
If you
It-
land one, when you
yeah.
land one, it's yeah,
It's wild. It's wild.
yeah,
So it's interesting when you're in a position like where you are. I am when you do want to help people. You do
yeah.
want to say like, hey, listen, trust me, I went down that other path that everyone thinks they want to go down, and it's good for some
Trust
people. It
me.
works out
But
well,
this way is also this way is the way though.
but this way
Trust me.
has a
Yeah.
lot of longevity. This way
Oh
has
yeah.
has
A lot of
you
respect.
a lot of
It's
respect. This way you can build a real network that will last for many, many years.
Yep.
There's some supervisors that are going to be music supervisors for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
But I can't say the same thing about A&R. I know
Yeah.
A&R people are A&R for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And then they're like, nope,
Sometimes
no one
just a
does.
year.
Sometimes a year.
You know.
So, when I'm telling everyone like, no, this is a different way of looking at it. It's just so interesting to me how, and I was saying about, the way you and I talk and
Hmm.
Mario talks and a couple of my other friends who do really well in sync. And so part of me is like, I want to help. And the other
Yeah.
part is going, but I can't lead a horse to water and
Yeah.
make it drink. Like I
Right.
can lead it there. But I
Yeah.
can't make it drink.
Yeah.
It's
You can. It's like I feel like you give the cheat sheet, and people still are like, but I want to go
Yeah.
this way because it's hard
Yeah.
because it's ingrained in us in a certain way, and there's an element of ego that comes
Yeah.
with artistry, which I'm sure we've all dealt with, and
Yep.
it's about feeling like it's a different path, therefore it's not the right path, but actually
Yep.
it's the path of least resistance.
Yeah. That's interesting. You're right. It's a lot of it has to do with ego, I think. And
Yeah.
even if the person doesn't even know it,
No, it's
because
ego driven.
yeah, because I think for people who have, like when I first started music, I didn't have a unique voice. There was nothing like truly distinguishably unique about it.
Yeah.
Maybe the way I emoted and the crack in my voice made it unique. But how there's some people when you hear them, you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's like
What is that?
like
How is this happening?
yeah, exactly. It's like an instant thing. And what I've noticed over the years is the people who have those really unique voices, it's like a blessing and a curse.
Mm,
Because the minute someone hears them, they go, oh my God, I love your voice.
yeah.
So the person doesn't always have to work on songwriting
Right.
because they're getting instant gratification.
Right. Exactly.
you know, and then let's
Mhm.
say they start getting some good songs and people are like, oh, I love everything you touch, because they can sing something that sounds good. Maybe they haven't formulated how to write hit songs,
Exactly.
but just writing good songs with a good voice, with
Makes
a really
them
unique
great.
voice,
Makes it
makes
sound
it
great.
sound great.
Yeah.
So then what happens is this person over time thinks, I'm so good, and I'm, you know, the right thing's just going to make it all change.
Right.
But maybe that person hasn't really been enough in the industry to realize they need a big catalog.
Yeah.
They might not know that some of the songs need to be touched up a little bit better. Maybe some of the
Yep.
melody could be a little,
Mm-hmm.
there could be some improvements. And because they're not really around other industry people, it's their friends and local people who are telling them how great they are.
Yeah.
So those people don't have a reference of someone who's just as good, if not better, especially when it comes to a live setting, maybe.
Because there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good, but there's not a lot of great.
Yep.
So if you focus on being great, then you're going to rise.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't study the greats anymore.
Yeah.
Which is where's all this information you can find. You can look at people and go,
That's what I was raised on, you know.
It's what was wild the other day. I talked to somebody. I was like, you know, maybe something right there that maybe like Donny Hathaway would do would be cool. Like, so, you know, some of his notes in there were like, who?
Yeah. Oh, that's upsetting.
No,
that's
Donny Hathaway? Like, no, I never heard that name. I just went, oh. I don't think the industry can genuinely start to change until people actually converse, you know.
Yeah.
Because what happens is most people don't know how the industry works. It's just an idea from a movie. And then I think it said 60,000 songs released a year. I mean, at least a day. 60,000 songs released a day. And you're like, that's because a lot of people watch a lot of movies.
Yeah. Right.
I'm a good designer, but where you want to meet ya. I got the call, get the goal, get the fever. Ooh, getting like a ooh. Tell me like a oh, what take a bit, I'm on a teacher.
No, yeah. I keep my money to yeah. I keep so far they put that.
Tell me what you like. Did you hit me?
All right, what do y'all think after hearing again?
It feels strong to me. I wonder if there's too many parts. But then also I don't think there is.
Yeah, because K-pop, it's sometimes they'll have, you know.
It's forever evolving. I mean, it feels like a really strong concept, and it feels like it goes hard. Like it feels like a guy song to me, though. Like when I hear it, it feels very masculine, even though I know I'm singing a lot of it. I just think if you put a guy's vocal on this, it's going to become really hard and like aggressive and in a cool way.
Okay.
I'm a good designer, but where you want to meet ya.
I got the body. I forget my name. Amnesia. Like I was thinking of just like meeting someone and them just being like, yeah, sweet like applesauce, like you know, like that's the one I want. It's always tastes good. It's like you know, that kind of vibe.
I like that.
Hello, arigato. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. For me, it's all about cool phrases.
Yeah, I hear you.
Give me some of that.